Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today we will learn about Form 5 Biology KSSM, topic 1.3 Growth Curves. First, what are the types of plants in our daily life and how do their growth curves look like? Let us have a look. We will learn about the types of plants which have different life cycles first. For number 1, we have annual plants. Annual plants only have one life cycle or one season of growth. It dies after completing their cycle. Annual plants' life cycle starts from germination of their seeds and ends with the flowering or the producing of seeds. Examples of annual plants are paddy, pumpkin, watermelon, potatoes, and maize plants. The picture on your left shows the picture of maize plants, or commonly known as corn. Number 2, we have biennial plants. Biennial plants takes 2 years to complete their growth, meaning they have 2 seasons of growth. In the first growth season, we know it as the vegetative growth, which is the plant starts to produce roots, leaves, and stems for support. And in the second growth season, it is for the reproduction of the biennial plants. The growth process stops during winter after vegetative growth, and the examples of biennial plants are cabbage, carrots, beets, and onions. The picture on your right shows the picture of beets, which have a vibrant and beautiful purple color. And finally, the third type of plants is the perennial plant. Perennial plants live more than 2 years, means they have more than 2 seasons of growth. There are 2 types of perennial plants, commonly known as woody perennial plants and herbaceous perennial plants. Perennial plants are able to flower and bear many fruits at many times throughout their life cycle. And they mostly have secondary tissues to support the heavy weight of their stems and their branches. Examples of perennial plants are strawberries, asparagus, hibiscus, mango tree, and the coconut tree. The examples shown are in the right side of the slides, which are strawberries, delicious looking asparagus trees, and a big and heavy mango tree. Now, after we have learned the types of plants, let us learn about the growth curves of each type of plant. What type of curves each type of plant has, and what happens at each of their phases. Let us have a look. First, what is a growth curve? The definition of a growth curve is a curve obtained when a graph of increase in cell numbers or increase of the growth rate of the plant is plotted against time. How is growth rate of a plant measured? It is measured in terms of the length of the tree or the height of the tree, the size of the plant, the area of its stem, the volume of the plant, or the dry mass of the plant. First, let us have a look at the annual plant's growth curve. Annual plants have a growth curve which is a single sigmoid curve. In stage A, you can see the curve goes down because the dry mass is decreasing since the food stored in the cotyledon of the plant is used for germination of the seed. At stage B, the curve goes upwards because the dry mass is increasing since the plants start to undergo photosynthesis with the presence of leaves that have chlorophyll pigments. In stage C, the dry mass is constant because the rate of growth is zero since the plant is already matured. And at stage D, you can see the sigmoid curve goes down because the dry mass is decreasing since the plant is aging, such as humans do, and it has a lower rate of photosynthesis, and also the flowers and seeds of the plant start to disperse throughout the environment. Second, in biennial plants, we have a graph of 2 sigmoid curves. in the first sigmoid curve, the plants start to produce leaves, roots, and stems for their daily life. Photosynthesis starts to take place, and the food produced from photosynthesis, or more known as glucose, is stored in a compartment known as tubers, which are specialized storage stems in the plant. For the second sigmoid curve, the food stored is used to produce the flowers and the seeds, or known as the reproduction phase of the biennial plants. And finally, we have the perennial plants. Perennial plants' growth curves are comprised of annual series of small sigmoid curves. The unlimited growth in perennial plants means that growth occurs throughout the lifespan of the plant. Each sigmoid curve represents 1 year of growth. And with this, there are concentric rings, or known as annual growth rings, are formed in the transverse section of stems. Meaning, if you cut the stem of a perennial plant diagonally, there will have concentric rings throughout the stem that shows how old is the tree. The growth is rapid in spring for perennial plants, and the cambium will produce springwood, or lighter colored rings in the stem. Whereas the growth will slow down towards the end of summer, and the cambium of the perennial plant will produce summerwood, which are darker colored rings. The growth also slows down in autumn and ceases or stops the growth during winter because of the harsh environment and unsuitable temperature. That is all for today's class. Thank you for listening, and I hope you are benefited from this class. See you again next time. Bye.